Hello, my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, then welcome to my channel, and today's video is going to be a reading vlog for The Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. This is the sequel to King of Scars, and this actually is a release that kind of snuck up on me a little bit, and by a little bit I mean I just ordered it last week because I completely missed it. Nonetheless, I do just want to go and dive into this because I've been in like a really long reading slump lately, and I have this theory to where if I start reading like the sequels and like catch up to the series I haven't caught up to or finished yet, that will somehow help in some way. It has been a little bit of a while since I've read King of Scars, although I do think I remember it pretty well. We'll see how long that lasts once I get into it, but right now I feel pretty confident. So King of Scars was a book that I did end up really liking because I like Nikolai and I like Zoya. I actually kind of ship them together. And then I also do like Nina. My biggest problem overall with King of Scars was I just didn't see how the two stories would like intersect just yet. So I'm hoping to like, hopefully that'll be in here. I don't really have any other thoughts on this right now until I get into it. I can't really get into it right now, although I do want to, because I do have to go work on a group project, and then I also get vaccinated later for the first dose of the vaccine. Otherwise, for this vlog, I'm going to be reading through this. I will update you on my thoughts as I go along. I'm going to keep it spoiler-free. There will be a spoiler-free review at the end of this video. And then also, I do want to decorate my bookshelves for spring and just do like a little reorganizing too, because ever since I did it the last time, I've noticed some cat-related issues. And then also the Netflix adaptation for Shadow and Bone comes out this week, so I'll probably end up watching that and probably give a little bit of my thoughts on it. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure how I'm going to be time-wise because I'm in the last 2 to 3 weeks of my classes here and everything's coming due. But yeah, that's it for now and I will see you guys later. Hi, it is now day 2. I didn't end up getting too much reading done yesterday. I did read a little bit like before I went to bed. I'm only about probably a little less than 30 pages into it. I'm definitely having more trouble than I thought I would when it comes to just remembering this universe and then also just King of Scars. Can you see the lamp back there? My cat's, I found it on the floor this morning. My cat's knocked it over and I can't get the lid back on. So I have about an hour in between classes right now and I'm hoping to use that time to get a little farther into this. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. So it is currently April 23rd, which means the Shadow and Bone Netflix adaptation has officially come out. And I haven't really heard anything about it yet, and I'll probably start it either tonight, maybe tomorrow. I'm not really sure just yet. I will say I am definitely more excited for it than I thought I would be. Like, I was really excited at the beginning when it was announced, and then my excitement kind of just waned for it as like time went on. I'm also just going into it just like expecting the absolute worst. Mostly because I feel like I never like adaptations of things, so I'm hoping that like my pessimism helps me out in some way. Otherwise, I did have classes all day yesterday, which is why I didn't end up vlogging that much. And then I also spent the majority of my day today doing homework. But despite that, I did get some reading done yesterday, so I do have a reading update. I am on page 81, which is honestly a lot farther than I expected to be by now. I definitely did have trouble remembering things at the beginning of this book. It's been like 2 years since I've read King of Scars, or really any of the Grisha books for that matter, which is a lot longer than I thought it was. But as I kept reading, I definitely do feel like I've settled into it. Even if I don't remember everything, I feel like I'm good enough. Story-wise, not much has really happened yet, but I do think things were like picking up yesterday around the time I stopped reading. But I am just really enjoying like being back into this world, and I'm really enjoying being back with these characters especially. It's kind of like I forgot how much that I liked them. So that's definitely been fun so far, just getting to see all of them again and just like see them like interact with one another and just go on their little adventure here. So that's pretty much all that I have for right now. I am just gonna go like chill for the rest of the day. I do have some more homework to do this weekend and maybe also later today as well, but it shouldn't be anything that's too time consuming, hopefully. But yeah, I will see you guys again when I have another update. Okay, hi, it is now Monday. I think the last time I vlogged was Friday, so the whole weekend has passed. And my goal for the weekend was to finish the Shadow and Bone adaptation. That didn't happen. I am about halfway through. I think I'm almost done, like episode 4, or I'm already past episode 4 and I'm a little bit into episode 5. It's in between one of those. The episodes are just long, which I thought they would be, and I do like that. It's just they're also long and they're taking me longer to get through. As for my thoughts on it so far, I do actually really like it, I think, which I was not expecting at all, and I don't even think it's just like I went into it pessimistic so it's looking better. I think I just genuinely do really like it. It's been pretty fun so far, and the characters really do feel like they've been brought to life, which is really cool to see. This is like an adaptation that I've wanted to see ever since I read the books, and when it was announced, part of me kind of felt like it was never really going to come out for some reason. I think my biggest concern going into the show when it was announced was that they were going to try to combine like Shadow and Bone with Six of Crows, and I just didn't know how those two stories were going to fit together. But in the case of Six of Crows, we actually do get like an entirely new storyline altogether, which I do really like, and I like that a lot more than them just trying to take the Six of Crows storyline and trying some way to mash it into Shadow and Bone. It's really cool to like see the Six of Crows characters specifically in this kind of setting, because like it's been a while since I've read the books and we only really have like Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, so like actually seeing them in a new story with a new plot is really like cool. It kind of feels like fanfiction-y in a way, but also not, because it's not fanfiction at all. Okay, other than that, I do think they've stayed relatively close to the original Shadow and Bone storyline. I'm not really sure. It's been a long time since I've read it, and I honestly didn't really like it when I read it, so it's kind of just, I don't really pay attention to it that much, and I've forgotten a lot of it. Other than that, I haven't done any reading since my last update, but watching the show has made me really want to get back into the book. I'll probably get back to it at some point today, but first I do really want to decorate and reorganize my shelves a little bit today, so we're gonna do that first. When I first reorganized my bookshelves last month, I didn't really give much thought to where I would be standing and what I would be covering up. So I definitely want to like reorganize some things with that in mind. And then also I have some lower and bottom shelves that my cats can get into really easily, and they have been getting into them really easily, and they're just like knocking books all over. So I'm gonna have to like move things so that they can't do that anymore. Although I don't think that's going to be possible, but maybe just make it sturdier so it's harder for them to do it. You can't really see it right now. Well, I guess you kind of can. This shelf over here is just absolutely wrecked. That's their favorite one. And then also, it is spring, although it will be summer soon, but it's fine. So I definitely do want to like take my winter decorations off and put up a spring decoration, and by that I mean string lights, kind of. They're shaped like bees. I don't know if you're actually going to be able to tell that they're shaped like bees, but the intent is there. And I also do just want to create a spot for like the books I'm currently reading, because I usually just like throw them around on top of things, which is not good for organization, and I want things to be organized. I also do need to find a spot for Legendborn. Ever since my last review, it's just been kind of floating around my shelves, and I do really need to find a good spot for it. So yeah, I'm gonna go get working on that, and then I'll probably end up reading a little bit later, and then hopefully I'll have an update on that and maybe the show too soon. Alright. Okay, so thoughts. I ship Nikolai and Zoya a lot more than I remembered that I did. So that's been really fun getting to see them interact with one another, and it's one of the main things I'm looking forward to seeing throughout this book. Other than that, I'm actually really looking forward to where the story might be going. Hello, Shadow. You want to say hi? I haven't said hi in a while. Come here. Say hi. No? Okay. For Nina's storyline specifically, I'm still not really sure where that's going, and I do find that hers is the hardest for me to remember from King of Scars. But also I'm seeing developments being made now, both on her side and Nikolai's and Zoya's, to the point where I'm really liking it. At first, the size of this book kind of intimidated me because it is so large, but at the same time now I'm really glad that there's so much of it left because I just don't want to stop reading it. So yeah, that's pretty much just it for now. It was a pretty short update, but I'm just really looking forward to seeing where the rest of the story goes. Okay. This hat's like crazy floppy and in my face. I love it, but also you can't see me. Okay, hi. It's now Friday. Yesterday I just kind of spent in classes all day, and I did get some reading done actually. I'm at about page 200 of Rule of Wolves, and I do plan on getting farther in it today. It's supposed to be a really nice day outside. I don't have any classes. My mom wants to go to the beach, so we're gonna go read down there today. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I will see you guys down at the beach. Hi, it is now Monday, and it's Monday of, like, the week after I filmed the beach thing. So what happened was we came back from the beach, and then, like, the next week I had all my final exams, pretty much. So I just took that week off to focus on that, and now I'm officially done with the spring semester. Still feeling pretty drained from the exams, and then also I'm just, like, I can't believe it's over, kind of. I still feel like I'm going to have to go to class tomorrow or like do some sort of homework assignment. But while I was at the beach, I did get a lot of reading done, probably about 200 pages. I think I'm on page, let's see. I'm on page 384 now. I kind of wish I was taking notes while I was there, because while I was reading this I had a lot of thoughts, but I kind of forgotten most of them now. I am still really enjoying it overall. That has not changed. I do think I said before in this vlog that I didn't really understand where Nina's story was going. That feeling's gone now, and we're good there. I do think Nikolai and Zoya and like their relationship with one another is still what is standing out to me most here, but everything's been pretty good. Things were actually getting really fun by the time I stopped reading this, and just like things were happening that makes me excited for the rest of the universe. So yeah, I'm excited to see where everything goes and how this ends. I'm a little nervous for how it's gonna end, but that's nothing new. Something else I have going on throughout the week, I get my second dose of the vaccine, I think on Wednesday. So I'm not sure how much vlogging or reading I'm going to be getting done this week once again. As for the show, I also have not watched any of it since my last update. For some reason, I don't know, I have like a problem like starting shows and getting back into shows, but once I'm watching them I like it. And like I get super invested into everything, but just like pressing play is for some reason hard for me. It's dumb. So yeah, this week is going to be spent trying to get back into this because I really want to finish it so bad. Okay, so it has now been many days, many days since I last finished Rule of Wolves. I actually did get this done at the beach that day, and then I also have since finished The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X. Arpan, and then Dreadnought by April Daniels, and then I'm also almost done Elatsue by Darcy Little Badger. And then I also did finish the show last night, so I'm going to talk about that too, and finally wrap this up because it's been like months. Okay, so with that all out of the way now, let's finally start talking about this book. I'm going to give some of my overall thoughts first, and then I'm going to break down some specific things, and then I'm going to give my thoughts about the Grishaverse as a whole. So overall, I did really end up enjoying this book. I'm not surprised that I did, based on how I felt about King of Scars. King of Scars is like a 4-star read for me, and I do think that I ended up liking this one more. It was very nice to be back into this universe because it had been a while, and although it kind of felt like too long at first and it impacted my reading and enjoyment some, I did eventually settle back in, and from that point on, I was good to go. As for the characters, there are a lot, so I'm going to start with the more side characters and just kind of talk about them as a whole. There's no one in here that I didn't like besides the characters that you're supposed to not like. I would have liked to maybe see some of the more side characters explored more, since this was mainly focused on 3 or 4 characters, but maybe that'll happen in the future. Okay, so I'm going to start with Nina and her storyline. I enjoyed Nina's storyline in King of Scars, although I did think it felt separate from just everything else going on in the story, and I also began her storyline in here feeling the same way. And that just may be me misremembering things from King of Scars, and that's spilling over into this one. But there was a point where I was like, okay, yes, I get this now. And from there, they still weren't my favorite chapters, but I like Nina, so I liked her chapters. Let's do Nikolai, and then we'll do Zoya next. I mean, he's Nikolai, so like every time he was on the page, I thought it was really great. I don't really think in the grand scheme of things that this book was heavily focused on his story. And I do think that that is something about this series that has let a lot of people down. And although I do really love Nikolai, that's never been something that has bothered me that much. I think when I went into this duology, I was just really excited to see the story focus on these other characters that were a little more off to the side in a sense in the previous series. That's something that still exists for me with like the newer characters that get introduced into this universe, because I feel like when I read their perspective, I get interested in learning what they think about things and getting to know them better. And on that note, let's go to Zoya, because she was one of those characters that I was really excited to get to know more in this duology. And I do think that this duology has been very successful in doing that. She is also now one of my favorite characters in this universe. It probably goes, like, unless I'm forgetting someone, Jesper, Zoya, Nikolai. Like, that's the order. And they're all also really close. She also has the chapters in here that I was interested in the most. And kind of like Nikolai, every time she was on the page, I was just having a good time. In fact, the only times where I think I was probably having a better time were the times when Nikolai and Zoya were on the page together. I really like the way they work and banter together. I don't have a lot of ships from books that I'm like actively engaged with, but these two are definitely an exception, along with Jesper and Wylan from this universe. But those scenes between Nikolai and Zoya really spoke to me in here, like hardcore, and it was just a wonderful feeling to have again. Let's move on to the story now, because there was a lot going on. And it felt like there was a lot going on at once. With a lot of different characters contributing different roles in different places, but it all contributes together into one plot line for the most part. There were a lot of scenes that I felt like tension and on the edge of my seat for, and there were a lot of fun and cute scenes and heart-wrenching and really cool scenes as well. I had a really good time with this, and the story has just carved itself a weird little place in my heart. Now that being said, I don't know how much life this universe has left in it. I know for sure there's one more book coming out, and I'm definitely excited for it, especially with the way this book ends. I think this book does a really good job at hyping up the next book. And I'm curious to see where Leigh Bardugo goes with everything. I mean, I'm going to read whatever comes out from this universe either way, because I feel like I'm in just way too deep to stop. So I did end up giving this 5 stars. It's actually one of my 3 5-star ratings from this universe. Crooked Kingdom and Six of Crows were also the other 5 stars. And then King of Scars and Ruin Arising are the 4 stars. Shadow and Bone was a 3. And then Siege and Storm was a 2. And speaking of the Grisha trilogy, let's talk about the adaptation. So I finished the last 3.5 episodes yesterday, and everything that I said before in this vlog about the adaptation, I'm pretty sure still stands. I don't really remember what I said. And also, any trouble that I had finishing the show, I think is more of a reflection on me than I think on the actual show. I have this thing where I'll like start a show or like a universe and then I'll stop and wait until like something new is coming out, so then I have to hurry up and finish it right before that. And I didn't know this show was going to get renewed for a while, but although it was looking good, it actually has been renewed officially since. So yeah, that didn't really help. I also think that after I finished Rule of Wolves, I was just kind of done and out of this universe for a while, because that's a long book and it was just kind of a lot of Grishaverse at once. And the show, in the last few episodes I was watching, did actually bring me back into the universe, and now I want more, but now I have to wait. But overall, I just really did enjoy seeing everything adapted, and I also enjoyed the new parts that they added to the universe as well. I don't feel like anything was lost or missing, and the new parts were really cool to see, and it felt like really fresh in a story that I was already familiar with. I did enjoy like the Kaz, Inej, and Jesper storyline the most, but that's not something I'm surprised by. And this is a really good thing that happened for me with this adaptation, is that I like Alina now. I feel like my feelings for Alina back when I read the original Grisha trilogy, they were good and then bad, and then I just kind of fell into neutral territory towards like the later end of the books. So it's been a while since I've actually really liked Alina, and it feels really good to like Alina again. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. I'm really looking forward to season 2. It's actually been a while, I think, since I've liked an adaptation of something. So that is definitely a nice change, and it also kind of gives me a little bit of hope for Netflix has a Cowboy Bebop adaptation coming out soon. So I actually feel like I'm going into that with like a little more of an optimistic approach, which is definitely new for me, but also, who knows? Okay, so we have finally reached the end of this vlog. I now have to go do a ton of editing. So thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and answer the question that'll be around here if you want to do that. And hopefully I will see you here next time. Bye.